Shark came here, coming at you from ChooseYourRelationships.com, off of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. Then I got another question from a listener, and she's from Japan. She says, my question is about racism. I encountered in dating, which has essentially caused me to stop trying. I'm Japanese American, and what I have consistently found is that when I am dating someone, once the relationship becomes committed, the tone of the relationship changes, and suddenly I am asked or expected to perform subservient duties: cooking, cleaning, childcare, pet care, all these kinds of things. I've asked my white female friends if this happens to them, and they have repeatedly said no. Well, most of your friends are probably not going to be honest when it comes to their experience in their relationships. So I always say you should never compare your relationship to somebody else, because everyone has a different way of seeing things, and a lot of women will lie and say they won't do this, they won't do that. And most of the time, a lot of women just say what's politically correct or what sounds good. So I wouldn't put too much stock into what other women are saying. I wouldn't put too much value into it. She goes on to say, this behavior has come from educated professional men. In every case, I'm pretty sure it had something to do with how they perceive Asian women: docile, subservient, submissive, happy to be domestic servant to a man. And I didn't know at first that these men had such attitudes and views. I'm not sure how a woman would screen for such things. I do know that living in Texas and surrounded by southern white men, I can expect to encounter such attitudes pretty regularly. Probably so. I will be honest that the repeated number of experiences have had. Wait a minute. I will be honest that the repeated number of experiences I have had with these have completely changed the way I feel about dating, which I have not done in quite a while and am not sure I want to do again. Having something not work out is one thing, but repeatedly being exposed to overt, covert racism is another, and I don't see any way of solving the problem. And she says, I'm 48, she has a master's degree, her own business, no kids, and a pretty happy and healthy life. So that's good. You have a pretty happy and healthy life, and you're educated with your own business. Kudos to you. But you have no kids. She's 48. So who kids were you babysitting? You're babysitting another guy's kids? Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't think that's such a good idea. But anyways, what I can say is I've never really been to Texas. The closest I've been to Texas is Houston Airport, and I didn't go outside the airport, so I can't really speak on Texas and the attitudes of people in Texas. But what I can say is there's a lot of people in the dominant society that are racist, and it does exist. And see, the thing about living in the United States of America is they always tell us who the terrorist is. They always tell us, we know who the holes are everywhere we go, in most cases. We know who the bad people are, the drug pushers. We know who the criminals are, quote, quote, criminals are. But they never tell us who the racists are. That's the thing. Why is that? So we got a lot of people in the dominant society. They're camouflage. They're not really showing who they really are, because the the game of racism is good for business, you know, in most cases. And a lot of big businesses, they take advantage of it. And then a lot of the people socially amongst us, they take advantage of it too. And they try to capitalize off of it. And see, every white person is not racist. However, at the same time, they benefit from things being the way it is. You know, you can take a guy that lives in Kentucky in a trailer park. He's still in a much better position than me in American society. And I didn't grow up poor. But he's still in a much better position than me because he doesn't have to worry about getting shot down or having a bad encounter with a cop ever in his life. The cop will automatically give him the benefit of the doubt, right? So white guys are kind of have really positioned themselves in society to win. I'm talking about the white guys at the top. Now, if you're, I mean, this doesn't pertain to the guy that you're talking to because he's just he's working a 9 to 5. He's working for somebody else. But even still, he benefits from being a white male in society because white males are perceived as having higher status in society. So I don't really know the guy, and I don't have enough information about him or you to tell you what's really going on exactly. But what I will say is there's a lot of things that he's probably doing that's subtle, that a lot of people that you probably aren't noticing, it probably went over your head, or maybe you being Japanese, you probably you're passive aggressive. You let it slide, and then it kind of builds up, and now you can't take it anymore, and now you want out of the relationship. But what I would say, if the next time when things come up, you have to bring it to his attention immediately or as soon as possible. Otherwise, things usually escalate and go to the next level. And by the time, when it escalates too much, now you want to explode, now you're all upset, and now you're all emotional. But I would say don't do that. You should take care of those problems as soon as possible or immediately. But at the same time, I've been around so many people. I'm always watching, things that are overt or covert. It could be looking at television. It could be socially or out and about at events or around large groups diverse of people. I'm always watching people because how people respond, how people perceive things is very important, But if you don't like the relationship that you're in, and if you think that he's a racist, you probably want to charge that shit to the game and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Because a person that's racist and you're in a relationship with them, he's going to think that he or she, but in your situation, he's probably going to think that he's better than you. He's the supreme or the dominant person in the relationship. So that's never going to work, But that's what I think about that situation. If you don't like the situation, change it. And sometimes, being that you had a bad situation a couple of times, sometimes you might need to try something new. Sometimes you might need to travel on the weekend. Or you might need to just move. I don't know what type of business you have, but you might have to move and go to a different place. I've never been to Texas, and I don't really know what part of Texas you live. But sometimes you might need a new scenery. And plus, you're an older woman. So I don't know what's the scenery like in your area, but sometimes it's good to get out and experience something new, something fresh. Just my thoughts, So if you like what you heard, subscribe to my channel, check out my blog, chooseyourrelationships.com, and join my Players Club. And if you join my Players Club, you get my free paperback book shipped straight to your door. And along with that, you get a free bonus video, unlimited questions straight from me to you. Plus, you get a free ebook copy of my first book called A Chicken's Guide to Having Women Bake for You, Sex, Lust, and Lies. And you get immediate access to all of that as soon as you join my Players Club. This is the only thing you have to wait for. This is going to be sent straight to your door immediately. So, subscribe to my channel, check out my blog, chooseyourrelationships.com, and to join my Players Club, click the link below. So until next time, I'm out. Peace.